What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Might As Well Podcast, and we're going to be wrapping up Week 14 in the NFL 2018 season, and it ended on Monday Night Football with the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings, and we were able to see a lot of things that Skip Bayless himself has said over the since Kirk Cousins was with the Redskins. Skip is usually very, very harsh, and I think that he has a natural kind of disdain for LeBron James because, you know, obviously he was a self-proclaimed king. He came in and he would be the closest thing to Michael Jordan. And I think that that's just a natural thing within him. So we'll always view him as a hater of LeBron James, but some of his critique has some points, whatever, but it's just always a little bit too harsh. Because as we all know, regardless of how you feel about LeBron James, he's one of the greatest players ever. Okay, obviously no one is going to be six of six in the finals. I think, that's a dark horse. Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He's the boogeyman. I don't think we'll ever see him again. But when it comes to Kirk Cousins, right, I like Kirk Cousins, and I defended him a lot while Skip Bayless used to go wild on him. Still currently, every day, weekdays, he goes wild on him on Undisputed alongside Shannon Sharpe, who I believe also, as of late, has given up on him as well. There's a lot of reasoning behind that. He's just not a good – he's not that guy. I can't say that he can't – of course he could play quarterback. The guy has made throws that a lot of people just can't make. Obviously, you know, Thielen is about to break Randy Moss's record of more than 111 receptions very soon. I just don't understand. This is what the thing. He's 0-7 on Monday Night Football, but when you look at the game against the Seattle Seahawks, obviously it got broken open. I believe it got broke open late in the fourth when I think that was the fourth quarter when Russell Wilson broke that run when they had him and when they went for it on fourth down and just couldn't get into the end zone because of a bad read by Kirk Cousins. But we're going to talk about just Kirk Cousins overall, because I know some people are going to still be defending him, and some of you guys are Viking fans. I actually have, a friend on the Vikings team right now, so it's very difficult for me to, be honest about it, but I have to be objective about it. Kirk Cousins is just not, he's not the guy that they needed, and I believe that they will regret it. Like, I didn't think that he would be this bad. If you look at him overall, he has good numbers, like statistical wise. But if you look at the games themselves, he has made that team. He has made very, very bad decisions, and he's looked like an average quarterback. I can't say the man is terrible. You know what I'm saying? When you say terrible, it's like, but he's not that guy, and it kind of shows you. It's sort of like this, right? You have a decent life going well. You know what I'm saying? You have a good family, and then you step out on your wife for somebody that you think is better, because it looks more pretty. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that attracts you, it looks more pretty, and then you get it, and you're like, this wasn't even worth it. And then by the time you figure it out, it's like, it's too late. You can't go back. And the person that I'm talking about is Case Keenum. Because if you think about it, right, Trent Dilfer with the Ravens, they did the same thing with the Ravens. They got rid of Trent Dilfer after they won that Super Bowl. What happened to the Ravens after that? Listen, I understand the Ravens had an unbelievable defense, and, you have the opportunity to get someone that's better. And when you look at it, you're probably going to say, Case Keenum is a journeyman, whatever. He wasn't able to do what he probably is not as, from what we've seen from Kirk Cousins, he probably wasn't that gifted based on what we saw on paper. But Case Keenum probably would have this team playing a lot better. Even though he's just, like I said, a journeyman, we call him a journeyman, we say whatever. Even, with the Broncos, he didn't play that well last week, Case Keenum, overall. But he's a guy that I think he fit the Vikings perfectly, and they didn't need to go out and get somebody else. But I think it was the name. I think everybody was attracted to the name. And you know what's weird? It's like this, right? When a lot of people are noticing that somebody is just not doing, right by someone, we automatically feel sympathy for that person. Like, we look at the Redskins and we're like, they're an idiot organization or whatever. Like, some people would say that about them because of the way that they handle business and, the neglect for the name and stuff like that. And it's like, everybody's like looking at them like they don't know what they're doing in the office and stuff like that. And then you look at this example right here. And I watched this game in its entirety. And, 0 points going up until the end of the game and stuff like that. Disgusting, horrific reads. Even that throw, even some of the good throws that the good yards that were gotten like by Stephon Diggs. He's just throwing the ball up in the air. It's not like he's really like throwing dots. He's just throwing the ball up, and he has great receivers. Like, Thielen is going to come out and show you guys, like, if there's anybody that can, make like just throw the ball anywhere around in the vicinity, to Thielen, Thielen's going to be okay. The problem is he has guaranteed money. I even tweeted it out like, yo, if they cut this guy, Kirk Cousins, they get him off the team right now, what would happen? Like, is there any way they can recoup money? But unfortunately, it's a guaranteed contract. It's fully guaranteed. So he's just sitting there like, bro, I could play like garbage. And I don't think that there's an upside to it, because I think basically some of the greatest games that he's had, even though they were very, very high numbers, he still lost the games. He still threw those picks. Skip Bayless said it, bro. Look, he wanted them to stay with the Redskins because he knew it was guaranteed wins for his Cowboys. I thought he was joking. He wasn't, though. And like I said, I don't know. The Viking fans have to be disgusted because their defense played out of their minds, man. This is what frustrates me, right? Okay, when the defense goes out there and they play unbelievable, and on the other side, your quarterback is just doing anything possible, like a Mark Sanchez, a Brock Osweiler. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you just start naming the names and you just get angry. When these things start happening, it's very, very frustrating to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played on the defensive side of the football. It's not easy, bro. It's a lot of hard work. You're not out there to just be like, you know what? I'm going to party today. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to party with Cardi. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing that. That's not what you're out there to do. And then you go out there and you're like, yo, we're bringing in a guy that's supposed to be better than Kirk Cousins, and well, better than Case Keenum, which is Kirk Cousins. And then it's like, you're looking at him play and you're like, what is he doing? You don't understand. Like, he makes the read to the tight end, but Thielen won. Why wouldn't you look for Thielen or fake it out? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you know Thielen, I understand your tight end is decent, but Thielen is the better player in the red zone right there. So it's sort of like this, right? When Dak Prescott made that mistake early and he went after Amari Cooper, right? And they lost that game to the Titans and everybody was raging about Dak Prescott and stuff like that. And you look at Amari Cooper right now and you look at their relationship, it kind of makes sense that he had to, you know, make that mistake and understand that sometimes you have to look him off. But remember, even if he would have looked off Amari Cooper right now, even with the way that they're playing, he would look him off and then come back to him and throw a hot one. Kirk Cousins looked off Thielen, stayed with the tight end, so that everybody in the stadium knew that he was going to the tight end, and Thielen was wide open on the in route. So it's certain things like that when he's not worth the money. And you know what was weird? When Jason Witten said it, that was very, very harsh criticism because Jason Witten also said it. And he's one of the greatest tight ends ever. Regardless of what you want to say, he's one of the greatest tight ends ever to ever play the game. When he said that, yeah, he's playing like he's not worth the money right now, that's very, very harsh criticism from a very, very recently active player. I don't think he's like knocking him or anything like that. I don't think it's because, he was in the division with the Redskins and obviously, Jason Witten was a Cowboy. I don't think that's like any type of, untruth. I think he's being very, very honest, but we don't usually get that brutal honesty from these commentators. Even Booger and these other guys that are commentating, they're like, yo, this guy sucks. They want to say it because, and like I said, they're not saying it like he can't play the position. He just can't play the position that well. He shouldn't be getting top quarterback money. It's sort of like Matthew Stafford. Everybody looks at it like, yo, how are they paying this guy all this money? Because he's a terrible quarterback when they really need him. But when you say terrible quarterback, when you're saying that about a football player that's in the National Football League, because it's such a rarity to be able to make a team and to be in the league, you're talking based on the guidelines that we have for our quarterbacks. So you have to play up to par. You have to play to a certain level. Otherwise, you're terrible at your job. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be out there just doing what this guy's doing and nobody's going to say anything. And then now it makes the Vikings look foolish because they could have used that money elsewhere and made the team better. And Case Keenum was still making all the same throws. He didn't do anything this year that Case Keenum couldn't really do. That's what my whole objective is, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much the situation where it's like, come on, man. I don't really understand exactly what's going on with this. It's something that we can't really understand. It's like, bro, how is this guy getting paid all this money? When you're watching this game, it's like, how? How is this a thing, bro? How is this a thing that's going on? It just doesn't make any sense that this man got paid $84 million when Case Keenum would have probably won this game. I don't know, man. You Viking fans, you guys are you probably defend him. Some of you guys are already done with him. I tried to defend him earlier in the year. It didn't work out for me. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I can't do it anymore, bro. I watched this game. I can't do it anymore. I didn't even get to talk about the Seahawks in this game and how well they played. I can't, bro. I can't. I'm going to see you guys next week. Until next time, one love.